How do I look after my child with a sickle cell anemia diagnosis? What causes them to be ill? What is the best treatment? Where can they get the best treatment? Can they play football? What happens when they get ill? These are some of the genuine worries that parents have when they've got children with the sickle cell genotype or the SS genotype that causes sickle cell anemia. If you have these questions, watch this video to the end where we'll look at how to get some of the answers. Hi, I'm Dr. Sylvia, a general practitioner and health educator. This is Askawayhealth. I have a special interest in sickle cell disease and I want to raise awareness about this health condition as well as the issues around living with sickle cell disease and hopefully help others to manage the healthcare burden that it can be. In this video, we're talking about counselling or addressing some of the common questions people ask after a sickle cell anemia diagnosis. What is sickle cell disease and what is sickle cell anemia? They're health conditions involving our blood and blood cells that can be passed from one member of the family to the next. If you would like to know more about sickle cell anemia and sickle cell disease, as well as the difference between those two conditions, make sure you check out this video here, where I talk about the two conditions and explain. I'll also put a link for the video in the description box below. But in this video, we're talking about counselling. And the reason I'd like to bring this up is because I received an inquiry from an agonized father via our Facebook page. Essentially, his 6-month-old baby daughter has just been admitted to hospital and he's only realized on her admission that she has the SS genotype. What happened? Before they got married, he had checked his genotype and found out that he was AA. His wife is AS genotype. So they felt quite confident to go ahead into the relationship because they understood that any child that they would have together would either be an AA or AS genotype. And if you would like to understand the risk or the chance for a child to have an SS genotype, I'd like you to watch out this video here where I explain the different possible combinations and the possible percentage risk that a child may have. So in this type of combination where you have one parent who is AA and one parent who is AS, there's a 50% chance for any child that they have to be AA, that is without the sickle genotype, and a 50% chance for the child to have an AS combination, that is they have the sickle gene and are therefore a carrier or have the sickle trait, but will not go ahead to have sickle cell anemia. So what happened? Well, after the child was admitted and diagnosed, both parents went again to repeat their genotype tests, and lo and behold, the repeated test found out that the dad has the AS genotype. In this case, both parents now carry the sickle gene. And if you have watched my video, you'll realize that any child born to this couple has a 25% risk of having the SS genotype. There is a 25% chance that the child is AA and does not inherit the S gene, while there is a 50% chance that the child has an AS genotype and only has the carrier trait. But he is at the point where this diagnosis has just landed in their laps, and his very simple cry was, "Please advise, I need some counselling." How to deal with the current situation, the shock of the new sickle cell anemia diagnosis in the family, what it implies, what treatments are involved, what does it mean for the rest of the family and any future children they might have, what impact it could have on them work, so many questions involved. According to the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, in a report published around the time when the country's population was about 160 million, over 40 million Nigerians are healthy carriers of the sickle cell trait, that is, they have the AS genotype, while over 150,000 babies are born every year who have sickle cell anemia, that is, they have the SS genotype. It is thought that this is by far the largest burden of the disorder anywhere in the world. And most of these children could die in childhood because of ignorance and a lack of access to proper diagnosis and care. And this is why counselling in sickle cell disease and sickle cell anemia is essential. Firstly, we talk about genetic counselling. Now, genetic counselling refers to guiding people how a condition is inherited or passed among family members, why it happens and what causes members of the family to be at risk. So this looks at the treatment options, how it affects one's lifestyle, and preparing the minds of people who potentially may have the condition or relatives who may have to deal with family members who have the condition. And so people consider the possible outcomes to answer the question, can a person with an AS genotype marry or have children with somebody else who has the AS genotype? And can AS marry AS is an important consideration. And there is no one who can answer this question apart from the individuals involved. But what we should do is provide them with all the information that is required, the practical options, the implications for whatever decision that they're going to take to make in this question, in this life-changing question. This is an area that we in Askawayhealth provide a lot of helpful information about. And if you check out this article on our website, Everything You Should Know If Your Genotype is AS, so that's laid the background. In the next part in this video series, I look at the questions that come up during counselling that people with sickle cell anemia or relatives may want to ask that would help them deal successfully with this health condition. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell for health information videos like this. And I will see you in part 2.